Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us for this virtual press conference. Being in Washington keeps me away from my place of love and where my heart is in South Carolina. So thank you all for joining us for a little while. As we talk through this, I will say that without question, today is an interesting day because we are literally in the middle of a vote around DHS. And so unfortunately, I will be short on time, more so than I had planned on it. But I want to start off talking about one of the Biden administration rules that was put in place that was actually taking money and slowing down support for pregnant and parenting women. So we have put together legislation that would reverse that to allow more funding to flow. We call it the Supporting Pregnant and Parenting Women and Families Act. And what it does is it allows for us, by reversing the Biden rule that's in place, we will allow for more money to flow to more families. We'll get the specific details to all the folks who are interested in that important piece of legislation that will empower women and families to make the best decisions for their families. The two other major issues that seems to be top of the mind for all Americans is the Department of Homeland Security funding and the Save America Act. Let me talk for a few minutes about the Department of Homeland Security and its funding. I can't imagine standing in a 4-hour line in Atlanta because for some reason, Democrats do not want to come back to the table and do what every other American seems to think as common sense, funding our Department of Homeland Security and specifically TSA. But it's not just TSA that goes unfunded. Think about the fact that we've had major catastrophic events in Hawaii and FEMA is unfunded. Think about the fact that our Coast Guard is unfunded. Our national security apparatus is unfunded. So to every single Democrat making a decision not to fund our national security apparatus in the midst of intense and volatile times, please, let's do the job that the American people has elected us to do. Let's take care of our national security starting here at home. That means funding TSA. It means funding the Coast Guard. It means funding Secret Service. It means funding FEMA. We have real opportunities to show the American people that we can work together and get things done. Let's do it now. We ought not leave town until that is done, and that is what we should be doing. Second is the Save America Act. Literally this week, I met with a group of South Carolinians who came in a little skeptical of the Save America Act. And I started asking basic questions. Do you, like over 80% of all Americans and frankly, wildly popular at home in South Carolina, do you support an ID when you vote? Every single person in the room said yes. I asked the question, do you think that only Americans should vote in American elections? Every single person said yes. I said, should we make it easier to vote, but harder to cheat? Every single South Carolinian in the room, a couple dozen, said yes. Well, frankly, great majorities, 75 or so percent of Black Americans, well over 80% of white Americans, 82% of Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, mixed Americans, all agree. Wildly popular. You ought to have an ID to vote. As a matter of fact, there's at least one Democrat that believes in ID somewhere. John Ossoff believes that you must show an ID to attend his rallies, but he will not vote to make sure that you have to have an ID to vote anywhere in the country. That kind of hypocrisy should not stand. It just should not stand. And then, why in the world will we not make it clear as a bell, like 36 states already do, including South Carolina? A voter ID is common sense, and we should have it everywhere in this land. Simple as that. Department of Homeland Security, fund it. Please, let's fund it. Save America Act. It's just common sense. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, Republicans support it, Democrats do too. In independents, support it as well. This is something that actually unites the country. Let's unite the country. And this is one of the ways that we can do so. At this point, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.